Hello, everybody. It's Amber from Equalize Digital. I am getting ready to go live. I am first figuring out how to make sure it goes in the Facebook group because I have had tricky challenges with that. It worked last week. It seems like it doesn't want to work this week. So I'm playing around with that for a minute, and then we are going to talk all about AI alt text and whether or not it works. But let me see if I can get this to decide to work for me. We'll see. I swear, I need an assistant every time just to show me how this works because I do not get why it will not send the stream to Facebook, which is, I guess, wait, let's turn it off. And try one more time. See if I am getting it to go live, maybe. Nope, I'm going to give up. And I'm going to say that Facebook is not my friend. So, all right, today I am going to talk about generating alt text with AI. I know we all talk a lot about wanting to make accessibility easier. It's something that all of our customers ask us about all the time. And if accessibility hasn't been thought about on a website and SEO has not been thought about on a website, it is very likely that you could put in an automated testing tool and scan the site and discover that there are thousands of images without alternative text that need to have alternative text. And so, of course, the thought is can ChatGPT write this alternative text for me, or OpenAI, or any of the other language models? So we're going to explore that today. Let me jump over and share my screen. I'm going to say, if you are watching this, please give me a thumbs up. I very much appreciate that. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please say hello in the chat. I love to know who's here. And that would be very helpful. So I wanted to start real quick just to show you the audit history report for the WP Product Talk website, which is the website that I have been remediating. And what we can see right here was at the end of January, there were 2,907 total issues. On January 31st, we dropped, while doing some work to the header and the footer global areas, to 1,511 and changed some color contrast things. So we have sort of seen a drop in the things that are automatically identifiable, which is exciting. I love when the total issues goes below the line for past tests. So that's very exciting. But obviously, there's still quite a bit of work to do, and we're continuing to work on this. This particular site is got 236 images with empty alternative text warnings. We'll talk about that a little bit. I will say I appreciate this. Lisa says, why can't AI take care of sending to Facebook? I don't know. I feel like it should be so much easier than it is. It's like sometimes I can get it to work and sometimes I can't. But all right. So on this website, we have 236 images with empty alternative text. But as you can see, I'm scrolling down through this chart. A lot of them are duplicates. So we've got sort of a SVG or an icon that looks like a badge maybe with a star in the middle of it. There's photos of me and Zach showing up here. Here's a photo that is a cover image. So this is probably an even more meaningful image that needs alt text because it has text imposed on it because it's the cover teasing the episode. But there are a lot of repeats here. So the first thing I would probably want to assess, and I would know, for example, this badge icon probably doesn't need alt text. It's probably correct. We can click view on page and see where that is. It's opened up in the new tab. I'm on a single podcast episode, and it looks like that is a SVG image that is kind of decorative next to the related episodes heading. So, of course, we would not want to add alternative text to this. That is just there as a little accent. It's not something that we want announced to screen readers. But I am going to leave it alone for now because I think it's interesting to sort of be aware of the fact that there are some images that are decorative, and we can see, is the alt text generating plugins, are they going to do anything with them? And we've got pictures of people. I'm going to download a couple of these only because I think some of these, let's open and make sure I get it. Oh, it's already small, but that's all right. I'm going to save a couple of these because I feel like some of these plugins do the alt text generation on upload, and some of them have bulk options. So I want to make sure that we test both. So I've got an image of a person. I've got an image with some text on it. I might go find a random image on Pexels just for fun because I don't think we really have any random like photo type images on this website. But let's see. Oh, this is interesting. What would it say about this give? I'm opening these in new tabs because I want to make sure that they're big enough. What would it say about this advertisement for Give WP, right? That's sort of interesting. Oh, here's an image of a table. This has got to be a table. What is this? Oh, yeah, it's like a screenshot from a spreadsheet or an Airtable or something. I don't know what it's from, but this would be really interesting to see what it would generate as alt text for too. All right, so I've downloaded a few of these images. Now, what I've done in advance of this live stream is I have installed a handful of plugins. I went to the plugin directory and just searched for alt text. And I looked through, I've installed a few of them. Most of them require API keys. So I set up the API keys because it's not fun. Nobody wants to watch me setting up API keys for free trials. But I want to talk for a second about some of the plugins that show up here in the results and the ones that I dismissed right away that we're not even going to test and why. So you can see based upon the active button, the ones that we are going to test today. So we're going to look at alttext.ai. We're going to look at bulk auto image alt text, AI image alt text generator for WP, and AI image alt text generator with GPT-4o. So those are the plugins that I want to test out. And then there are a number of other plugins that have, some of them even have quite high active install count. So for example, image alt text plugin has 5,000 plus active installs. It says it allows to edit image alternative text of uploaded media. It allows to update alternative text in existing media, right? I can see just a little bit of that. So that sort of seems like, hey, maybe that would be a good plugin to use. But when I explored this plugin and the descriptions a little bit more, I'll just open one of the screenshots. What I can see is that what this plugin does is it gives me a table where I can go and add alt text to images that are missing alt text and I have to type them myself. So we're not going to try that one because that's not AI generation. So that's why I didn't do that one. Now this alt manager, this plugin has 6,000 active installs, and it talks a lot about SEO. It does say that it improves accessibility. It says dynamic alt helps visually impaired users understand what your image are about, making your site more accessible to everyone. That sounds phenomenal. I definitely want, to look more at it, right? Because that's what we're trying to figure out right now. But when I went down and I looked at their screenshots and I read the settings, what I discovered is that this plugin doesn't have any sort of connections with anything that would visually scan and interpret the image and attempt to describe it. Instead, what this alt manager plugin does is it has variables that you can use to add to different images, and it will then go out and pull those variables and generate alt text based on the variables. So for example, I can say on the page image settings, they have an example of we are putting site name and a pipe and page title as the alternative text for the images on the pages. This would mean that if you had 5 images on one page, all 5 of them would have the exact same alternative text. And that alternative text would be, for example, WP product talk, pipe, this specific episode. That does not describe the image in any way. This is probably one of the worst approaches that I have ever seen to alt text generation. This is purely someone who thinks that they're doing it for SEO. There is literally no accessibility benefit to generating alt text using variables that are combinations of your site name, your page title, all of those sorts of things. So I highly don't recommend that. There's another one that I looked at that has 10,000 plus active installs. So, that seems okay. Maybe a lot of people are using this. Maybe it's super helpful. It's called Bulk Edit Image Alt Tag Caption and Description. And this one also talks a lot about on-page SEO. And it has features for bulk editing. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is useful. We can look at some of the screenshots here. But what I realized is this is a plugin that is very similar to one of the first ones we saw where it had a table. This extends the media library, and basically it adds columns for alt text caption and descriptions and allows you to make them editable so you can type out the alternative text if you want for each one. So again, this might be a really great solution because this is manual alt text that you would describe as you're editing your website. And maybe this is a faster way to edit them. We'll come back to that later on when we test some stuff out. But this is not one that I'm going to look at today because, again, there's no AI component here. It's just you bulk edit it. There was another one that I'm just because of time and I'm a little bit hesitant to try brand new plugins. Sorry to brand new plugin developers, but there's one called AI Alt Text Generator that says it uses ChatGPT or OpenAI. So this one has 100 active installs. There's another one called Image Comply Alt Text Generator. This one has 200 plus active installs. I was trying to figure out what it used, right? Does it use GPT? Does it use some other language model? I couldn't really figure that out by reading it. It doesn't really have any information on that. They don't have a ton of information on their plugin page. And then I went to their website, and I always get a little sad when I go to a website that says Our mission is to make the web more accessible, inclusive, and optimized for everyone. And our buttons fail color contrast. Right? Like I'm a little bit like, okay. Right? That's when I start to question things a little bit. So again, because of time, I don't have time to test everything. I ended up deciding I don't super trust them because they don't have a lot of information about what it's using to generate it. And they have immediately apparent accessibility failures on their own website, which makes me say, oh, maybe it's not going to be as good. Perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe this would be the best one out of all of them. But we're not going to try this one. You might play around with that one if you feel like it. And then the last one that I saw that we're not going to try only has 40 plus active installs. Oops, I highlighted everything. It's called Alt Text Generator AI, auto generate and bulk update alt texts for WordPress images. This one does have some pricing. Again, I don't think it really talks about what they use. It just says there's an FAQ that says, how does the AI model generate alt text? And it says, our AI alt text generator uses an advanced computer vision model trained on millions of images. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Because I doubt that they've created their own. Maybe they have, but I'm wrong. I'm probably not wrong about that. So, yeah, I'm not going to try this one because it only has 40 installs. Perhaps you might want to try it out. So let's go actually give some of these a try. And what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the one that showed up first, which is alttext.ai. I'm going to activate that just by opening the link in a tab because I don't want to lose my browser. There we go. All right. So when I activated it, it added a alt text option in the WordPress menu. Your positioning might be a little different because Matt has arrange the backend WP product talk differently. So it may or may not appear in the same location for you. For me, it's right after the accessibility checker. So when you get this, you have to go over to the alttext.ai website and either purchase a plan or you can get a free trial. I just have a free trial right now, which gives me 25 credits. Not totally certain if one image is 1 credit. We're going to find that out. I haven't set anything else up on these because I wanted to do that here. I haven't even played with them because I think it's fun for us to do. So I can set a language. Looks like they support many different languages, potentially every language available. This dropdown is quite large. I'm leaving that as English. There's an AI writing style. And it says use account default. I don't even know what that means. Elaborated, standard, matter of fact, concise, terse. They have a link where we could learn more about AI writing styles and see more about how that works for them if we wanted to read more about it. Oh, this is sort of helpful. They have an image of a bridge with a sailboat sailing under it, and then they have examples of elaborated, standard, matter of fact, concise, and terse. So terse is the shortest. Matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out, let's see. So elaborated, a tall suspension bridge stretches across a body of water with a sailboat below. The bridge casts long shadows on the blue water. In the background, a layer of fog partially obscures a mountainous landscape under a clear blue sky. That seems very long. Terse says, a sailboat passes under a tall suspension bridge shrouded in mist with a bright blue sky in the background. That might be okay. Maybe we'll just pick in the middle. Let's pick maybe matter of fact. A suspension bridge spans a body of water under a clear blue sky. There is light fog in the distance over the water. A small sailboat is seen sailing under the bridge. The bridge casts a shadow on the surface of the water. Let's go for that. We'll do that. All right. So we're going to set that. When alt text is generated for an image, I have options here to also set the image title with the generated alt text, also set the image caption with the generated alt text, also set the image description with the generated alt text. Folks, do not turn this on. This is so bad. We do not need to duplicate. This is what will get you in Accessibility Checker or in Wave or in other tools warnings about redundant alt text. You do not need to have the alternative text match other elements, title attributes, captions, text below. That's annoying. Let's not do that. Says we could add a hard-coded string at the beginning or hard-coded string at the end. So this is sort of interesting because you could potentially put like AI colon, and then you would know this is AI generated alt text. And perhaps you could use that as a flag to go back through and fix them over time, or maybe that's an indicator that is helpful for screen reader users to know that it wasn't typed by a human. I don't know. I might like this setting. I'm going to leave it blank for now, but that is sort of interesting. I have options when new images are added to automatically generate alt text with alttext.ai. I'm going to leave that there. So I think that means I can bulk update, or I can generate it by clicking a button on an individual image, or I can have it do it as I upload images, which is why we saved a few to the computer. I could only process certain file extensions. I'm going to leave that blank. Skip image files unable to be found on the server. Okay, sure. Generate alt text using focus key phrases if present. So this is sort of an interesting setting. It says alttext.ai will intelligently integrate the focus key phrase from the associated posts, compatible with Yoast SEO, All-in-One SEO, Rank Math, SEO Press, Squirrely, and Smart Crawl Pro SEO plugins for WordPress. I kind of like this. I mean, I don't want them to just put the key phrase in it, but I like it if what it does is uses the key phrase to better understand perhaps context about the image and why the image was there. I don't know. We're not going to go learn more. But it might be helpful. It might result in a page or a post context in getting better alt text that is more relevant than something that just literally describes the image. It says use post title as keywords if SEO keywords are not found. Sure, we'll turn that on. Bulk refreshing. We could override existing alt text when refreshing posts and pages. Process external images. That's sort of interesting. I don't totally know how that works, but we won't explore that right now. I don't think I want to override existing alt text, because if we put the effort into alt text, then we probably want to keep it. But I could see where that could be useful. For example, on my personal blog, if you go back 15 years, I don't know why, and I haven't cleaned it up yet, but image file names are in the alt text field, and the image file names were all like img underscore some number from my DSLR camera. So I could see where this setting could be useful if you know you have a lot of garbage alt that needs to be replaced potentially. So we're just going to leave the other default settings. I'm going to save changes. I don't want to bulk generate first because I suspect bulk generating is going to use up. Yeah, I only have 25 credits. So we're going to go try a couple of specific images first, and then we might come back here and try this bulk generate. So I'm going to go to let's see. I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to find the page where this table is. All right, here we go. So this is the page with the image of a table that is missing alternative text. We're going to edit this post. So I'm going to first try editing a post and see what does it do. Does it give me a button I can click? Does this one have empty? This one has alt text. This one has empty alternative text. We're in the block editor right now. I clicked on the image block. I don't see anything here that's saying to me like generate alt. So there's nothing in the block editor. Let me see if I click replace open media library. All right, so now I've opened the media library and, well, the replace feature, the media library modal in the post editor. And I do have something that says update alt text in the attachment details on the right for that image. Let's try it. So it's processing. There's a massive color contrast failure when it processes. All right. Now it says in my empty alt text, it says Screenshot of a web page displaying a table with columns for podcast information seamlessly integrated with a chatbot. Columns show permalinks, titles, transcript links, excerpts, contacts, airing dates, episode numbers, length, topics, pagination control for 10 entries is visible. You guys, I want to look at the image because I can't read it when it's that small. So we're just going to open that image real quick. Let's see. Permalink, title, transcript file, excerpt, aired on date, episode number. Let's go back to where we were. All right. I accept this. This is decent alternative text describing this image of a table. I think I'm going to select it. Oh, but look, I did that and it didn't put the alternative text in here. That's kind of annoying. So let's open the media library and copy. So I don't know if that's a WordPress bug or something with this plugin. I would expect that maybe I have to click away and then click back and then select it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's probably a block editor bug. It didn't think I chose something different. So, all right. Well, now we have alt text on that. I think that alt text is kind of decent. I'm going to save this. I wonder if there's any other images on here that are missing alt. Yeah, there was another one with empty alternative text. Oh, I wonder if it's this OpenAI thing. Yep. Let's try this. I'm thinking that the screenshot descriptions are kind of useful. All right, we're going to replace this. Open media library, update alt text. Oh, there was a whole add SEO keywords checkbox I could have tried. I really don't think you should. Screenshot of a chatbot configuration page for Open Assistant GPT. Fields include chatbot name, ID, API key, welcome message, error message, and reset language. Perfect for setting up your podcast chatbot. Menu options on the left. Feature dashboard, chats, and crawlers. All right, I like that one too. Now I've learned my lesson. I have to click away from the image, click back on the image. I think these are decent. So I'm going to say that alttext.ai does a decent job when it's like a web page screenshot. We'll save our fixes. Let's just go into the media library and look at some of these other images. We can do one that has me on it. Let's see. Here. All right. So this is a special episode that has all 4 of our hosts, how to pick your next product. I'm viewing it in the media library. I don't actually see a button. Oh, wait. There is a button. Is it disabled? Why is this disabled? Inspect. It totally fails color contrast. It's a div. Okay, what's inside the div? It's a link. Oh, this would not sound good on a screen reader. It would say link. This should really be a button. It's styled to look like a button. Link with a title attribute of alttext.ai, update alt text for this single image, but it also doesn't work. And I don't know why. That's annoying. And it's theoretically disabled for some reason. Oh, that's weird. Look, it flashed like it was going to work and then it went away. Why would that be? Okay, let's see if we go and we edit an image. Do I get alt text there? Nope. What if I flip to the table view? And then I click edit to go to the actual individual edit page. Now there's an alternative text field. It also has, please don't tell me I used all my API credits. Let's go see. I did 2 images. Did that use all of it? Does this tell me how many credits I have left? Nope, I have 23 credits left. We're going to go for the plugin is broken. Well, if I was alttext.ai, I would want to figure out why it is that in the media library and on an individual image, I cannot edit them. All right, so let's try the bulk feature then. Why not? We'll go over to bulk generate. Oh, wait. Hold on. Before I do that, because I know this is going to use up all my credits, I'm going to go back to media for a second. And I just want to upload so we have some comparisons. So I'm going to select some of those things that I downloaded. So I've got, let's see, a cover photo, a picture of me, this image of a GIF. We're going to just upload these and see if it generates alt text for them as they upload. Almost. I'm waiting for the last one. It says 100%. There we go. All right. So we'll just open these in new tabs. Let's go for, all right, this is can a business partner skyrocket your growth? It didn't generate alt text. Oh, but it does have a button. All right, let's try that. Update alt text. I don't know why it didn't generate it. I checked the box for it to generate alt text on upload. It also seems like that button does nothing. Oh, look. Wow, this is a great error message, you guys. It's white text on a light gray background. Unable to generate, I can barely read this. Unable to generate alt text. Check error logs for details. Also, I'm going to tell you that this would not have announced to a screen reader because it is in a span that does not have an alert role or anything that would tell a screen reader to look for errors. So there was an error. I don't know why. Where would I even find error logs? Oh, here's an error log. It says I uploaded. Oh, okay. So it says you uploaded an unsupported image. Please make sure your image has one of the following formats: PNG, JPEG, GIF, or WebP. So there is a plugin on this website that when images get uploaded, they all get converted to AVIF files. They are no longer JPEGs or PNGs or whatever they were before. It would appear that alttext.ai may not be able to generate. We'll try this again for that. Oh, that error message is so bad. Yeah, it just has an error message. Okay. Well then. Settings. Can I add that as a, hold on, I gotta make sure I have it right. AVIF. Can I add that as an extension somewhere? Image. Leave blank to process all image types. Nope. So I'm going to go with, and I don't actually know the history of why we're converting images to that, but it seems like it's not going to work. I'm not totally sure why it works in those really old images. Maybe those ones weren't converted for one reason or another. Let's go ahead then and just try bulk generate. Optional SEO keywords. Try to include these in the generated alt text. Or negative keywords. Do not include these in the generated alt text. Well, I don't really like any of those. But my options on here, it says I have 397 images. There's 300 that are missing alternative text. It says include images that already have alt text. Nope, we're not going to do that. Only process images that are attached to posts. Skip images already processed. Let's just click generate and see what happens. It's giving me a progress bar, 0%. Doesn't see, oh, there we go, 0.33%. It's done one The image ID was 7. Now it's done image ID 21. Now image ID 108. I don't know what order it's starting in, and it's not going to get all of them because we're going to run out of credits before it can do all of them. It sort of looks like it uses 1 credit per image. So I think I'm going to be able to do 25 images. We could go look at one of these too. Image ID 310. Where's my media library? We could add a column. Oops. This is going to make it way easier for me. I'm going to add a column here for the ID. So this is Admin Columns Pro. If you have not heard of the Admin Column plugin, it is amazing. I also have to say, we might as well do this right now. Comments. We don't need comments on our images. But you know how we saw a couple of those plugins that allowed you to edit alt text in the media library? You can also do the same thing. I just added a column for alternative text. Now if I go to the media screen and I view it in table format, there's my alternative text. And I can see if it's empty. I can see if it needs to be filled in. So you don't necessarily have to do that with an extra plugin because you might already have a plugin, like if you're using Admin Columns, that supports you being able to do this without having any of those. Let's go back and look at our bulk process. So it's done 20 images. It still says available credits 23, but I'm guessing that this just doesn't update. I'm also totally suspecting that this progress bar, let's see. Are they using any sort of progress bar roles? Nope. So from an accessibility standpoint, this progress bar is a definite failure because it doesn't have any of the ARIA that would be expected on a progress bar. So a sighted person can see that it's functioning, but a blind person would not know that this is functioning. All right, now it's telling me update complete. Assumingly, I have run out of credits because it says it's done 24 out of 300 images processed, 23 successful. The last image that I did was 440. This is like image roulette because I wonder if I can just search like that, if it'll get it. I don't know what it's going to give me. Nope. All right. Let's add a filter for the ID is 440. Let's go look at that. Oh, no. Wait. Remove that. Now try. All right. So here is a Pexels picture. It is a JPEG. And it looks like, so Pexels is a free stock library. So it's like a picture of a woman from a free stock library. And it says, a person with long brown hair smiles at the camera wearing a dark polka dotted blouse. The blurred backdrops hints at interior elements like stairs and greenery, creating an inviting vibe, much like the engaging conversations on WP Product Talk. That is sort of interesting, right? So let's talk about this. I don't know. Does it give an engaging vibe just like the conversations on WP Product Talk? I like that it's trying to do something relevant to the website, but I don't know if it necessarily is. Also, we're in the middle on their verbosity setting that they have for this, and it already feels like too much to me. I would shorten it. So I probably would almost go down maybe even to that terse setting. I think it's interesting that it just says a person. I've seen other instances where some of these have gendered. So they've said a woman or a man if someone matches the typical appearance of that gender. So, I don't know. So that is alttext.ai. I'm going to deactivate it and maybe close a few of these things. I'm not certain. I didn't go look like if I wanted to buy this, how much would it cost? I kind of want to say it did sort of okay on some of it. Obviously, it has a serious conflict with our performance plugin changing the file types. So that right there for me would end up being a no-go because of the fact that it literally can't generate alt text for most of the images that are being uploaded now. It's only working on these really old images. I will say though that like that alt text that we saw, especially on the table and that kind of stuff, wasn't that bad. All right, so the next one that I have in here that came up in order of search results is the bulk auto image alt text alt tag. Let's go ahead and activate that one. I'll get rid of some of these things. It wants me to opt in for updates. I don't want to opt in for updates. No, thank you. Oh boy. I'm getting lots of contrast issues on this settings page. And this is one, let's go back to this real quick. You know, I ruled out ones that said that it wasn't using AI, right? Because that's what I wanted to figure out. When I read the description of this one, it looked to me like alttext.ai, where it referenced your focus keywords or those sorts of things. So that's why I installed this. And they have a lot of text in here. But I think now that I'm looking at this settings page, I have a settings for pages, post, alt text. Select post type, pages and post, what to do with missing alt text. There's a drop down and it says disabled, use Yoast. This plugin also has a lot of things that are blocked out if you don't pay for it. Post title, image name. I'm going to go with no. This plugin does not do what we want it to do. Skip. Do not recommend. Again, just adding your post title or your meta keywords, whatever, like that is not the purpose of alt text. Alt text should describe the image on the page. Let's look at the next one. AI image alt text generator for WP. We'll activate this one. Sorry, I'm not going to let you track me right now. And this one puts a item above appearance. Let's look at settings. So I did go ahead and get an API key. It's not paid, so if you copy this, it's not going to steal credits from me. Don't worry. I can also do lots of different languages. I'm going to leave that at English. This also has the option of setting the image title, setting the image caption, setting the image description. I don't know if they copy each other, but I really don't like that, right? Not good. Prefix and suffix. Create alt text automatically when new images are uploaded. Okay, we want to try that. So I'm going to check that off. There's some typos on here. I think it's supposed to say it is always possible to generate alt text from the bulk generate page or the update alt text button on an individual image. But we want to turn this on. I'm going to see how this one does with our uploading. Save. All right. So let's just try and do that first. This is our alt text generator. I have 40 credits with this one in the free plan, which is kind of cool. But let's go to the media library and let's try and add a new file. I want to add that table again because I'm sort of curious what this thing will do. All right, so it uploaded. This is a PNG, not one of those funky AVF files, AVIF, but it might get converted. It's just saying 100%. It's not giving me the information, so I'm not sure if it's done yet. Part of me wonders when it takes a long time to complete the upload, if that's something related to the alt text plugin going out. Let's see. It says it's 100%. Let's go to the library and look. Oh, there we go. It was converting it. Hey, so this one converted, but here's what we got for alternative text. So remember the other one described, the alttext.ai described what some of the data was and the titles of the columns. Like it actually read the text in the image and used that. This one just says spreadsheet with marketing data and various metrics. This is bad alt text. Not super great. We should find that same lady because I think it's helpful. ID is 40. Was that what it was? No, it's 440. Was that lady? Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. We're gonna download, save her. We're gonna re-upload her and see what we get with this one with the same image. All right. What did this one give us? Friendly woman smiling in a modern office. Much shorter, right? So now you have to start to decide what style do I like? I think so far of the two, the other one was probably more helpful, particularly with the table. Now let's go look at a couple of these. If I go back to, oh, hold on. If I go to one of these that is like an AVIF. So here we go. There's our give thing. So we're going to click on this. It has the AVIF file format. If I click the update alt text button, we should also look at this and see if it's an actual button. Is it doing anything? Doesn't seem like it's doing anything. Could be because there's an error. Let me inspect this guy here. This is also a link with a class of button. Come on, folks. Links go somewhere. Buttons do something. I don't know why we have to like make a link and style it like a button. I suspect it's like processing for a little bit, but it doesn't ever return anything. I suspect that this one also can't handle the AVIF file format, which is kind of, a challenge. It's interesting. That other one had an error message that was so low contrast, I almost didn't see it. But this one doesn't have an error message at all. So this one's actually worse, right? Because I just click the button and it seems like it does nothing. Let me go back here. I wonder if I can just search by file type without adding another column. Let's try this. I'm going to search JPG, see if I get anything. Well, here's Matt. Let's go in. I want to see what it does for Matt. And make sure that update alt text button actually works in the edit screen. There we go. Yep. Smiling man with glasses in outdoor setting. So when it is a stock photo like that lady from Pexels, that's fine to be generic, right? But I don't know if a featured image of Matt Cromwell should just say smiling man with glasses in outdoor setting. It really ought to say like Matt Cromwell smiling outdoors or something, right? Because if you think, well, what if we have Zach and Matt on the same page. They're both men that wear glasses and smile in their pictures. Is their alt text going to be identical? It might be. Not great, right? So we really want to have something unique. So this is where something I haven't seen yet, but what I think would be really cool for the makers of these plugins is if they used, like, Google has an image recognition API, or I'm pretty sure Apple has this too, because a lot of our photo apps use it, where it can start to recognize and group photos by people. And it would be really neat in these plugins if it could pull up, these are images that we think all have the same person, and then you could name the person. And then anytime it found an image of that person, instead of saying smiling man, it would say Matt Cromwell, right? That would really be what would make this more useful. I think if I had to compare these two, oh wait, we need to go do let's go check out our bulk generator and see how this one functions. All right, I'm going to click my generate alt text. Again, I am not including the images that already have alt text. Oh, this is really interesting. The last plugin told me I had 300 images. Then it did 24. I guess it's about right. I feel like mathematically with me uploading. No, okay, we're good. So I now currently have 276. I've used 4 credits. I'm going to go ahead and generate alt text for these, but we're not going to touch any of the ones that already have alt text. Oh, you know what I should have done? I wonder if it will. Maybe I'll do it real quick while I want to upload or see if we have one of those images with, maybe they're all AVIFs. The cover photos with text. Might be too late. Let's see. Where did I lost it? There we go. Last tab. All right, here's a progress bar. Because we did this on the last one, we can inspect. Right now it says 3%. Does this have any of the ARIA for a progress bar? It's a div. What's inside this div? Oh, look, it has a class of progress bar, but what it's missing is a role of progress bar. Mozilla Developer Docs has really helpful information on how to create a progress bar that actually sounds like a progress bar to someone on a screen reader and announces changes. So basically this like 8% guy down here, that's the ID of bulk alt text progress. We would want that to have a alert role added to it. And then every time the number changes, it would announce it to the screen reader. So I always feel like it's a little bit frustrating when I encounter these accessibility plugins that are for helping accessibility, but they have accessibility problems themselves. So I'm having a hard time telling if this is faster or slower than the other ones. It's gone through 23 of the 276 images right now. The other one, I think, was starting at the end. Let's go to the library and look. I feel like it did low. Yeah. So alttext.ai started with the low ones. It is including text. So for example, the WP Product Talk icon, it says a vintage style gold microphone stands in front of an orange background. The text WP Product Talk is written in dark blue to the right of the microphone. Maybe if it's somewhere we want to describe the logo, that makes sense. But in almost all cases, I might actually just edit this to say WP Product Talk. If it's linked to the homepage, that would all we want it to say. Or we might even say WP Product Talk homepage. Or if it's serving as a logo, then we might say WP Product Talk logo. So we can see, yeah, like this is a great example. We've got that Matt Cromwell picture, and this is what it said for that that same picture. It was much longer, alttext.ai. A man with short dark hair and glasses smiles at the camera. He has a beard and is wearing a dark button-up shirt. The background is blurred with green and yellow tones, suggesting a natural outdoor setting. I feel like this is going to be too much. But the photo below it is also, right, a man wearing glasses. And then there's another one that's from Unsplash. And this one happens to be a black man. And this one just says a man wearing glasses and headphones. How would we know? And these are two Unsplash images and the Macromal image. They're all described as a man wearing glasses. So we might think they're a picture of the exact same man, but they're not. They're three different men. So let's go back and see if this thing is done processing. It's still at 8%. What I don't like is I can't tell what it's doing. The other plugin said last image process, and it showed me an ID. So I could tell what it was adding alt text for. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted right now. I think I'm just going to hit cancel. Okay. But it didn't, there's no like log or anything. Oh, wait, success. Wait, null images has been successfully generated. That message seemed wrong. I don't think that null was supposed to say null. I can't see a log. I can't tell what it generated alt text for. Let me see if I go through the media library with this extra long alt text. All right, so then I got to say, okay, so it was not starting with the oldest images like the other one was. Was it starting with the newest images? All right, so this one maybe was yep. What? Oh, no. It must be asking ChatGPT prompts, because the alternative text on my headshot says, sure, here is an SEO friendly alt text for the image. Smiling woman wearing red jacket and blouse. Oh no. Okay. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to say right now that AI alt text generator does not win. That was a fail. We might as well tell them. I don't want to. Nope. Skip and deactivate. We won't give them feedback. That I think it was not detailed enough, not specific enough, and I had some super weird stuff that I'm now going to get to go through and fix after this is over. I have a few more minutes. Feel free to say hey if you're still hanging in there and you want. I've got one more plugin that I was sort of curious about trying, which is AI image alt text generator with GPT 4.0. So feel free to let me know what you think, and I will keep going for a couple more minutes before I wrap up. So, yeah. David says, haha, yeah, it definitely has GPT pre-prompts. All right, so this last plugin that I was looking at, AI image alt text generator with GPT, that one says, what does it say? It's down here. It's only got 200 plus active installs, but I'm going to give it a try because Matt told me that he had played around with it before and he got some positive stuff out of it. So I have, where am I? Oh, I'm editing post. I have activated that plugin. This was a thing that I remembered last time. The other ones put a really obvious item in the menu. And as you can see, then the WordPress admin menu, there is not one after activating that plugin. So luckily, it took me a while to find it, but I went over and there's settings on the plugin page in the plugin information. And if I click that, it takes me to media settings. So settings media. So this is an interesting approach because instead of creating their own WordPress admin page, they have gone in and they have just added settings to the media settings that already exist in WordPress core, which some people might like. So I had to go create my own OpenAI API key, which means this plugin is not going to be reselling credits to me. There's probably no upgrades. I go buy my own credits from OpenAI. As a plugin developer, I will tell you this is probably not the smartest model if you want to make money off your product. Just saying. You should probably be reselling the credits. But okay. Also, I will say that I went in, I set up the API key. I think I have credits that I previously bought when I was doing some work in a Google Sheet. But I don't know. It might not work. We have settings for the model. I'm going to leave this at GPT-4o. Auto-generate all text on image upload. Yes, I'm going to turn that on because, again, I want to see if that works or not. The detail level, low. Low will minimize token usage and cost for image processing, but could be sufficient for most cases and significantly cheaper. High will use more tokens but provides finer details. There's this whole link over to OpenAI documentation for calculating costs. We're not going to worry about that. It's low or high. There's no like mid. So I'm going to go with, I don't want to spend a lot of money on my alt text. I'm going to start with low. And I'm going to save my changes. I think what I don't love about this that's a little weird being on the media settings is there's just a lot of stuff related to core or other plugins. Like there's something where you can create custom thumbnail sizes, which must be coming from a plugin. There's regeneration, an option to regenerate thumbnails, which is also coming from a plugin. Safe SVG settings. The setting, oh, here's the setting that is generating images in AVIF, right? Like there's so much stuff here that's not related to the AI generation that for an average user, I would think this is a confusing interface. So we are going to, let's see, go over to the media library and just try uploading something. David asked me, did I get my hands on Bertha AI? I did not, but you know what? Give me a second. Let me try this and I'll just go see right now because I've got some extra time today. So I am happy to try out Bertha AI. I have never tried it before. I'm going to, I like comparing things. So we're going to upload the same images that we had. So the table, this lady. Oh, sure. Me, because that results in a, and then we've got an old plugin banner, the give banner. We'll just open those up. We'll see if my alt text includes the response to the prompt. They're uploading. Oh, and taking a while to process. The first one is stuck on 100%. I mean, I guess these images, when you upload them, they're doing two things. They convert them to the AVIF, and they also generate alt text. All right, I'm going to go back to, I was trying to keep that open. Let's go to the library and see. Oh, okay, so none of these generated alt text on upload, even though I have that checked off. It might be because of the conversion happening. Let's go edit one and see if I can click the button. All right, so this one has a WordPress button, which suggests to me it's actually a button. I'm going to inspect it. On the media edit screen, winner. They used an actual HTML button tag to create their generate alt text button. Clicking that. Okay. Oh, I got a browser alert for the error. This is the best error message. This plugin so far has the best accessibility that I've seen because this would be announced to screen reader user. It says there's an error generating the alt text. OpenAI's API error. You exceeded your current quota. Please check your plan and billing details. I swear I had credits in there. I'm not going to spend hours trying to figure out how to buy some right now. So I might have to come back on the results on this one, which is kind of frustrating. But I can already tell you that I do positively like the accessibility that I'm seeing of this plugin. Seems much better, which for a plugin that's supposed to be related to accessibility, that would be helpful. But I really wish I could figure out why my billing doesn't work. My key. I might have to I'll post a little follow-up video about this. Let's go look real quick at Bertha. I want to see if there's a free trial for this because I have never used it. Bertha AI. Maybe I just install it from WordPress. All right, let's try that. Let's go back. Well, just to not confuse things, we're going to deactivate that other alt text AI. So I will say, like right here, the fact that I got all hung up on my billing, that's another reason beyond you want to make money from your product for you to have your own API key that all of your product, your plugin users go through, because it's so much less setup, right? Like I could go to their website and just generate the key and paste it in. I don't have to worry about, theoretically, I already have the billing set up. I had a free trial. I could do some number for free to test it out, see if it's the right plugin for me. Whereas this other one, I got lost. And now I was like, I don't know how to do that. Maybe I'm going to move on, right? Let's add a new plugin and see how Bertha works. So Bertha.ai has 600 plus active installs. I'm activating it. I haven't done this yet. I've never used this before, so this could be quite interesting. I guess I need to sign up for an account. I wonder if it's going to require me to authenticate it. Oops. I'm going to use a real email address because I have to create an account. That's interesting. Part of me wonders if this is allowed. I'm like stuck, right, in the onboarding wizard that I can't leave. Okay, I'm installing on the website of someone else. This website is a content website. Next. Great. I don't want to watch video. Why are all these fields required? Okay, maybe this makes it better. WP product talk. What is our description? Do we have an about page? We must have an about page. There we go. That's helpful. Where's my onboarding wizard that I can't exit? Here. Company description. Ideal customer. What is this? Describe the groups of people. Okay. WordPress plugin developers. Tone of voice. Are we witty is filled in here? Oh, no, that's not filled in. That's placeholder text. It looks like it's already filled in. One word. Authoritative. I don't know. I can't even spell it. I have a really hard time with this, but I don't think we're witty. I don't think we're goofy. Did I spell that wrong? I might have spelled that wrong. And English, I can do multiple languages in this, but it's clearly a smaller list of languages than in the other plugins. All right, save. Activate your license. Okay. Click the activate button on the Bertha.ai website. So I think when I did all that, it created a user for me on their website without me having to go do that. I don't actually want to generate content though. So no. Why do I have a modal that I can't click away from? Escape. Escape key doesn't work. I have to click this start generating content. I don't like that. Goodbye. That is not a good onboarding experience. Don't dump me in the post editor and force me to create a post. Bad idea. Okay. I want to find the settings for Bertha.ai. Oh, wait. I got to refresh my admin screen. Bertha AI brand settings, general settings. Yeah, let's see. Please upgrade to access general settings. This right now, you guys, is what's called user testing. I am in real world trying to figure out how to use this plugin to generate alt text for my images. I can't access the general settings because I guess I have to pay. Chat also has to pay. Art. Oh, I can create images. That's not what I want to do. Brand. This is all the required fields. I can upgrade. Image credits, text credits. I have 500 words per month remaining. Okay, let's just go to the media library and see. Can I generate? Well, we could go down one of these. Let's go look at myself because it failed to create alt text. Okay, so I've clicked edit. This one doesn't have a button like the others did. It has a visual link, which probably is an actual link, not a link style button. It's a link. Shouldn't be a link again. It should be a button. Also, it's really easy. The other ones had big buttons under the alternative text field. This one appended the link generate alt text to the explanation of what an alt text is, which is okay, except for, again, it should be a button, but I feel like people are going to miss it. I almost thought it wasn't here. I'm going to click generate alt text on my headshot. It's spinning right now. And still just spinning. Yeah, so Paula said, too many barriers. Yeah, there's way too much stopping me from getting started on this plugin. Not motivational to keep it on the site. Debbie says, it's a nope for me. Yeah, so it's still just spinning on my generating. Oh, the page reloaded. The page reloaded. It did not have any sort of alt text. It also doesn't have any sort of error message. I'm going to go that this plugin also can't handle the AVIF files, but it failed to give me any sort of error message about what that is. Let's go find a, oh wait, no, we can re-upload. Wonder if it does it on upload. We can upload that lady again. Let's see. Here we go. Pexels lady. Okay, I've uploaded. Oh, wait. I think I might have to go find some where it doesn't. Okay, so it converted it to the AVF. It did generate alt text at the time of upload, probably before it converted it. So now what this image says is close-up image of a woman smiling, wearing a polka dot blouse set against a modern indoor backdrop. I like that. I like that a little better. And it is able to work in conjunction with that. I suspect that it didn't work. I want to go back and find one of these images that's already uploaded that is a JPEG. Let's go to the end. That hasn't been converted. Oh, look at this. This is hilarious. One of these generated alternative text for the logo Ipsum logo from when we were building the website, I guess. A minimalist logo featuring the geometric in to the left, followed by logo Ipsum in a modern sans serif font. This is a muted gray design ideal for a WordPress podcast like WP Product Talk. Stands out crisply on a white background. Well, that's not true because it's barely visible. Here's another one where we talked about this audio 2 image on the homepage. It's just it's like a waveform graphic. This says a teal play button is followed by a stylized sound waveform pattern gradually transitioning to color from teal to dark gray. The vertical bars of varying heights echoing a WordPress podcast like WP Product Talk indicate fluctuating audio levels. I think these all came from when I generated with alttext.ai. But again, this is totally a decorative image. It shouldn't have alt text. So you really have to be careful if you're using these because you don't want to just add text. I'm trying to figure out on Bertha. Sorry, I got distracted, you guys. I was trying to find an image that I could generate. I want to test one that's not an AVIF to see if that's the problem. Is there another one at Matt? I like to compare. No, we'll just use this dude here, which I'm guessing is a stock image because the title is Podcast 2. Oh, wait, he already has alt text. He was the person with glasses that doesn't look any different from Matt. Let me find one that doesn't have one. All right, here we go. We'll do you. I'm trying to figure out if the reason why this link, generate alt text link on the edit screen didn't work is because of the file extension or if it just doesn't work. So I've clicked it again on a JPEG. Yep. So it didn't work on the AVIF, but it did function. It needs error messaging. It needs an error handler. This one says a close-up of a young woman wearing professional headphones in a recording studio focused on her performance. So I like the shorter a little bit better. Again, I think kind of generic. This feels okay. The alttext.ai might be better also if we put it way down at that terse setting. I just think even that mid-range where I put it is way too verbose for what we need. Now, here is the big thing to keep in mind with these, though. When you do bulk generating, and I didn't see any way in Bertha to do bulk generating. Yeah, so really Bertha is on a per image at a time. But if we go back to alttext.ai and we look at these images that are maybe on a page, something you have to keep in mind is just because you add alternative text in the media library, it doesn't mean that it's going to actually output it on a page. So we saw that a couple weeks ago when we were editing the homepage. So I went into the media library and I added alternative text on these tiles here because I thought, hey, these cover photos for the episode are featured images for the episode. But it turned out that this is just built in the editor. When something's just built in the editor, it doesn't pull alt text. So you could use all your credits. You could buy a bunch of credits for one of these ones that does bulk generation. It can run through your entire media library and generate alt text on all those images, but it's not going to insert the alt text it generated into the post. And a great example of this is here is what I said was a decorative image that shouldn't have alternative text. In the media library, we saw that one of those bulk generators had created the alternative text for it. Now I need to figure out why this image has alternative text that just grabs Zach. Probably a mistake that I did, but you can see like what it put in the media library is not what it put here. So anything that is already inserted into a poster page, you're still going to have to edit. So I think I might have clicked on one of these. But I think really my big takeaway on these, if you're curious, is I really just think maybe as you are editing, they might speed you up image by image. But I don't think that any of the bulk editing is really that useful. Um, unless these plugins develop the way to go out, update the posts where images are already embedded. Um, and they need to get better about recognizing decorative accents. They need to have some sort of integration with image recognition so they can learn who people are and not just say a man with glasses for clearly 5 different men that are wearing glasses, right? Like we need to be able to name people or provide more context. Uh, so where I always land on these, I have tested these once a year for the past 3 years. We had a podcast episode that was one of our first podcast episodes where I also tested alttext.ai and every alt, which seems defunct or it hasn't been updated long enough that it's no longer in the WordPress plugin directory. I posted a link to it in the YouTube chat. But I tested it then. I tested them last year when I built our e-commerce shop because we have a bunch of t-shirts with words. And I was like, maybe they'll be able to write the alt text for the t-shirts for me and describe it so I don't have to go through and do that. But it just wasn't good enough. And I ended up doing it all myself. So I want this to work. I wish there was a magic bullet that could like get really good alt text, but it just can't right now. I don't feel like it's there. And I would really be careful about any thoughts that it's going to do magical like bulk generation for you because you could spend a lot of money on credits and find out that all it did was add alt text to your media library and not actually add it to any of the images in the poster page. So that is my thoughts on remediating with AI for alt text. What I'm going to do now as a human being is actually go through all of those images and provide real and correct alt text. And when we come back next week, I'll show you how improved the website is.